now.
Hey everybody, KB here with Frank DeCaro once again. And we're doing something special. We're kind of going in the Wayback Machine today, Frank, aren't we?
We kind of are. I have not reviewed a movie in about 100 years, but that's what I was known for. When I was doing The Daily Show 100 years ago, I was the incredibly bitchy movie reviewer, which is kind of, if you ask me, that's redundant. Okay. It's like, that's your bitchiness is your job. Karyn, I have seen a movie that I'm so excited about because it's exactly the kind of stupid, fun thing we need right now. And
Yes.
I think you're going to love it. I love it so much, I put a ring light on. Okay. I buzzed my hair and got my ring light out. That's how excited I am
Very
about it.
nice.
So it is a movie that expands the RuPaul universe. And it's called Stop That Train. And you have to say it that way because it's got exclamation points after each word.
There
So
we go.
you want to do it justice. And I have to say, it was so funny and so stupid in the best possible way. And if you watch Drag Race, you know that RuPaul's always saying it's like, it's so stupid. And stupid is a big compliment because it is. And I think with so much troubles going on in the world, something that'll take your mind off the world for 90 minutes, and it's almost a perfect 90 minutes. You gotta support it. What it is a disaster movie spoof.
Okay.
And for those of us who grew up on things like the Poseidon Adventure and the Towering Inferno, which I recently saw at the Turner Classic Movie Film Festival, Classic Film Festival,
Yeah.
on the big screen, and it holds up perfectly. The building doesn't do so well, but the movie holds up.
Which one? No, Towering Inferno and Poseidon Adventure are classics.
So good. Now, I don't know if Stop That Train is going to be an all-time classic, but I have to tell you, it is so much fun. And it's a rarity because drag queens are playing female characters. Because usually, even in 2026, when you get a movie with drag queens, they're playing drag queens. And that's kind of always been the case. Every once in a while, you'll get someone playing a female role, like Harvey Fierstein in the Broadway version of Hairspray, or John Travolta in the big screen version. He wasn't a drag queen playing a mom, he was just a mom.
Right.
And so it's kind of a rarity. And it's funny because the last time that I can think of that was Hairspray, and it's the same director. Adam Shankman did this movie, and he's the guy who did Hairspray, the musical. And now he's doing Stop That Train. And he's really excited about it. They made I think it was a $20 million budget.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just funny because to see someone like Jujubee.
I was just going to say, here's a look at the cast. Okay, so we've got RuPaul, Ginger Minj, Jujubee, Brooklyn Heights, Latrice Royale, Marsha, Monet Exchange, and Simone.
Exactly. And Ginger Minj and Jujubee really do the heavy lifting. And I hate to say heavy lifting because Ginger Minj has lost so much weight and she looks fantastic. But she plays one of the two train stewardesses for Stank Rail. So Stank Rail goes out of business or lays them off, and they somehow manage to get on Glamazonian high-speed bullet train jobs and then they're of course have to have a bit of a rivalry with three other drag queens who are already working there and are very fancy, and they're played by Brooklyn Heights and Simone and Marsha. And of course there's a very funny feud that goes on between the two of them. But Ginger Minj and Jujubee, who are friends in real life, are so good in this movie together. I swear, if they cast them in a remake of Laverne and Shirley and they were, Milwaukee bottle cappers, you'd tune in every week. And I think someone should do that, and I think I should write for it. That would be, I'm just putting it out.
I think it's a great idea. And I always loved that show too, Laverne and Shirley. So this is who we're talking about, right?
Yes. So Jujubee, there they are first in their Stank Rail uniforums.
Basically Spirit Airlines, right? Spirit Airlines.
Sort of. Yeah, the Spirit Airlines of the tracks, yes. But once they're on the other side of the tracks and they join Glamazonia, the Glamazonian Air rail, they look beautiful in their outfits.
Okay.
And it's really fun because they are charged with saving the day in the way that Karen Black in the airport movies. We're like, the stewardess is flying the plane. Yes. It's that kind of thing. So they have to save the day. And RuPaul now plays. You can see there's
Oh,
Glamazonian. Okay, tell me you don't want to go. Look at that first class cabin.
totally, I do. I
Totally
absolutely
to see that.
do. I mean, it looks fabulous. So yes, it's a very high-end train.
Yes.
Glamazonian, yes.
And when I interviewed Adam Shankman, and he said, "Okay, now where is the stank rail car for the ugly one?" And he said, "Well, we didn't have enough money for both, so we have to redress the other one." So they had one car that they had to fix up in two different ways. It was that kind of budget. I guess 20 million doesn't go as far as it used to.
I guess it doesn't.
No.
I guess it doesn't. But
But
you
they make it
mentioned
look
Miss
great.
RuPaul now.
Ru,
RuPaul,
okay.
obviously, very fabulous. RuPaul is kind of the head of the whole organization when it comes to making the movie in the first place, right?
Yes, and here she plays the president of the United States, and she won with the campaign slogan, "She fun." That's it. Just she fun.
She fun.
And so she wins. But the president has a bit of a secret in that she's actually sort of a military trained person who can basically get in there and save the day. But then she has PTSD and she has to let the drag queens who are not the drag queens, but she has to let the girls do their thing. So Jujubee and her gal pal there have to make it happen. And Jujubee and Ginger Minj have to save the day. And they do. I'm not giving nothing. What do you think? They weren't going to say
I was just going to spoiler alert.
I'm not giving anything away. You know who else is really good in it? Latrice Royale is in it. She is that beautiful plus size lady. And she has all these different roles. She keeps turning up because she says she works a lot of different jobs. And so she just keeps showing up in the movie, which is such a funny gag to keep doing. Now, when I did a hosted thing, a screening and a talk back with Adam Shankman. And before I welcomed the people in, I said to them, I said, now I'm going to ruin this for you gay guys. I said, because I know you like to hate things. I was teasing them. And I said, I know you like to hate things, but don't hate on this movie because it's really, really fun. And of course, some of them still hated on it. And, you know, they said,
why?
Because we're gay and we have to do that. I'll be in the group. I was going to say they, but it's not they, it's we. I'm not that person. Okay. I used to be that person. Oh, I was that person professionally.
Right.
I say this as I always say, I'm not a gay, I'm the gay. But I as the gay, I'll tell you, it's way more fun. If you go into that movie happy, it doesn't have to make you happy. You could just sit there and giggle and enjoy yourself. And then if you loved it, yay. And if you thought it was all right, then you just decide where you're going for dinner. It's like, what do you want that movie to do for you? Just move along. We're going. There's enough entertainment. It's like, it was all right. Okay, where we eat. Ooh,
where we eat. Well, I think it looks really fun. I will say from the trailer, the part that really spoke to me too was where he goes, he says something like, "What's happening?" And then the woman's like, "Well." He goes, "Tell it to me straight." And she's like, "Yeah, the train is on the way." And he's like, "Tell it to me gay." And it's a woman. And she's like, "Well, me and my ex, we would just go get some tools. I'd give her some vegan, whatever. And we'd got that baby fixed in a couple of minutes." He's like, "Tell it to me male gay." And he's like, "Girl."
Well, yeah, I think the catchphrase that's going to come out from it is "Tell it to me straight."
Tell it to me straight.
Tell it to me gay.
So it was so funny because literally, like, I'm sorry, but I'm a sucker for a lesbian joke about Subarus and tools and stuff like that because, like, it's funny because it's true. You know what I mean?
And she ad-libbed that.
Did she
great.
really?
Yes.
It's such a great line. But tell it to me gay, girl.
And that comes up a bunch of times. You know, some of the queens that I talked to, and I read a story today on Instagram where they were saying it's the most divisive movie of the because that's
why? How?
Oh, just because we don't.
It's a parody movie about with drag queens. It's fun. Like who's mad?
Well, some people were like saying, "Well, it's not as funny as Airplane." Well, you know what? Nothing is as funny as Airplane. Nothing ever. There will never be anything funnier than Airplane.
No.
And that's the way it goes. There's nothing I can do that. When I was a kid, there's a Donna Summer album called Live and More. And on it, she says, in her patter, she says, I can't make you feel good if you don't feel good already. And I never really understood that. I thought, well, what does that mean? Isn't that her job? And it's like, the older I get, the more I'm like, no, if you go in a happy person and it doesn't offend you in some awful way and it takes your mind off the troubles of the world for 90 minutes,
Right.
it's done its job. It's like, what hole, and I don't mean that in the dirty way, are you trying to fill with this movie? It's just a movie. It's just
Right.
it's an entertainment. It's a bonbon. If it's any good, it could be a Big Mac or it could be filet mignon. And it's like, you know what? Big Mac's still pretty good.
Still pretty good.
It's like, stop trying to make everything you see something that's life-changing. It's like once in a while that happens. You'll see a performance. You'll see Cynthia Erivo at the Hollywood Bowl and be able to hear a pin drop as she sings First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, and I was lucky enough to see that. And it's like, yeah, that's a moment that you take with you and you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe I was lucky enough to be here for that moment. But the rest of it, you're like, it was fine. Where are we going to eat? Where are we going to eat? Where do we park?
Well,
where do we park and where are we going to eat?
And where are we going to eat? And that's truly what movies are supposed to be. And like you said, there's a whole lot of mess going on in the rest of the world. And so it's like, if we could just see these girls out here having fun and slaying, and I know I have some more licks from the movie too, but it's funny because I was actually at the farmers market last Saturday, and I went there to watch a little bit of World Cup and also the Knicks game, the last game where they won, right? So go Knicks, right?
Yeah,
and so I was there. Friend of mine and I were sitting there, and this guy comes from across the bar because we had gotten something to eat and we're eating there. But this guy comes over and he's kind of cute and he's talking. He's like, "What'd you eat? What are you eating?" We're talking, and I was like, and he was cute or whatever. And I was just like, "Oh, hey." So I said, "Are you guys were here from the World Cup?" He seemed European or something, and he's like, "Girl," and then he goes, "Girl, no, we're here for Stop That." He goes, "We're here for the RuPaul movie," and I'm like, "Stop That Train," and he was like, and I was like, "Go ahead." You know what I mean?
Tell yourself, stop those hormones, didn't you, Karyn? You had to say that. You had to say, calm down. It's like, he's a gay.
He's a gay.
Not gonna help me any.
I could turn him, but I'm not gonna. But that's another conversation, Frank. But anyway, my point was just that the happy gays were out having some drinks before the movie, and they looked like they were ready to go and have a great time. I didn't get to see the guy for a post-movie interview, but he was having drinks and looked to be in the right frame of mind to just go and enjoy this silly movie.
Now, would you have waited if he was straight? Wouldn't you have waited if it had been
probably, and European, straight and European, and available in Los Angeles? Yes, sure. I would have followed him into the movie.
That is the right approach. I think I just get out there. No, the people I know who hate, who complain about movies all the time, complain about everything all the time, and I'm sort of like. You know what? And then you get bitchy. This is where I get bitchy. I'm like, that's why you're single.
That's why you're single, right? But look at this. Fun. Look how fun this looks with these looks. Because at one point, that top picture where she's like, "Okay, your outfit turns into a flotation device or something."
Yes, that's exactly what happens. And it's Brooklyn Heights, and she ends up with this blow up outfit, and it's absolutely genius. It's just hilarious. It is very much in keeping with the sense of humor of RuPaul's Drag Race, and. Right. We all tune in every week, and sometimes you play on your phone some weeks until they all start coming out at the end. We all do that, but it's fun. And it's what I like about drag. And I've always said this, and I've written a book about drag because of this. Drag is the last link to very old-fashioned entertainment. Even though it's as modern as could be, it really is. We're going to be as dumb and spin as many plates and juggle as many balls, you should pardon the expression, and wear as many funny costumes as we can or we need to make you happy. And even though I say something can't make you happy, I think that drag queens just tap dance their little hearts out so you leave having had a good time. And that's why I like it so much, because that to me is what entertainment always used to be. It wasn't hip. It had jokes. It was you laughed your butt off. You felt good when you left. And I think that drag queens do that. So I think that's funny that something that is probably the most contemporary art form is also such a throwback to, the Ed Sullivan Show before I was born.
Well, listen, Frank, it's older than that. It's Shakespeare, right? I mean, the guys used to play all the female roles. And so that is the whole irony about people getting mad at drag queens. And like you just said, like theater is theater. It's all a show. You
haven't lived until you've seen a man dressed as Desdemona going, "Ooh, girl." What light doth yonder window break,
the
girl?
window break.
I don't know who says that line. I just threw out a name. That's
Yeah.
I can throw out a name from Shakespeare and then that, but I don't really know anything.
Well, what light the do? Yeah. It is.
I don't know.
That's like from
matter.
Romeo and Juliet. That's Romeo, the Montagues and the Capulets.
Yes, and I know them from disco songs because there are disco songs where they mention the Montagues and the
And that's another video, Frank, that people should check out is our disco review. But so all told, all in, if somebody came to you and they said, Frank DeCaro, what should I do about Stop That Train? Should I go see it or not?
Yeah, you should definitely go, and you should check your brain at the door while you're getting that $18 bucket of popcorn and that $42 Diet Coke to make up for the popcorn. Just check your brain at the door and go in and giggle and if it floats your boat, which I think it will, enjoy it and then go to dinner. And if you didn't like it, go somewhere for dinner. I always think you go for dinner. I don't really understand why everything has to be a big deal. Go for dinner. If you know a pizza is in your future, everything will always be fine. That's what you have to remember. Even if you're on Ozempic, like a lot of us are, you know, you eat half a pizza instead of a whole pizza, and you still have pizza. So,
100%. And I love the fact that you know that you're supposed to go to the movie first and then dinner because you talk about the movie after when people are like, let's go on a date, dinner and a movie. Why would I go eat first, get sleepy, then go to the movie? Then where are we going? Are we going somewhere else to talk about it? Are we going for dessert? Like, we got to go to the movie first and then go for drinks and talk about it. We go for drinks, movie, dinner. That's how
now the chairs are so comfortable at the movies. When we were kids, they were so uncomfortable. You had to stay awake. Now you could be like, I'll come back, pick me up in about 3 days. I'll be fine here. Just leave me. I'll be fine. I have I saved enough popcorn and jujubes to eat, so I'll be fine. Now, do you like genre spoofs to be getting?
I do. Well, that's what I was going to say, Frank, because this whole conversation makes me think of a few other parody type movies that I actually love, because I do think Stop That Train looks very, very entertaining. And like I said, from the trailer, I was like, yeah, no, they could have my money. That looks really fun to me. But I actually do like the genre of parody movies to some degree. So the first movie that I want to talk about that is a parody movie is called Wet Hot American Summer. And this is a really fun movie that came out in 2001. And as you can see there in the blue outfit, that is actually Paul Rudd. So now this movie has really an incredible cast. It came out in 2001. It was put together by the people that were making that show, The State. Remember that like sketch comedy show that was on MTV? So Michael Showalter, like a bunch of these people from The State are in it. But it also has Janeane Garofalo, and it has Paul Rudd. It has Molly Shannon. It has Chris Maloney in it. It has David Hyde Pierce. Like, it has this great cast of people. And basically, they are spoofing those like sex teen movies, you know, where everybody, where you go away to summer camp and everybody's just, you know, poking this guy and then that way. And they're like, in one scene, they're flirting with this one. And the next one, they got their tongue down somebody else's throat. And so it's ridiculous and it's silly. But there's one scene where they like go into town and everything happens. And like they get, like do all these things. And when they come back, it was only really supposed to be like the span of 1 hour. Just like stupid shit like that. That is funny to me.
I got to see it again. I saw it when it came out and I was pissy that day. I don't know what's wrong.
You didn't like it?
No, I didn't like it. But then I wonder, sometimes I think whenever I really don't like something and I really didn't like that movie, and people are like, you like everything. And I was like, yeah, mostly.
Right.
But maybe I just had low blood sugar. I think I have to take back every negative review because it might just be if I'd had a candy bar, I'd have been fine. But I think I could watch it again. I just remember, I think Chris Maloney's in a cutoff t-shirt. I think that was
and very short shorts.
I got bowled over by that, and then that was it for me. I did. And, but
Chris Maloney he's in a lot of small things, a lot of gentlemen in small shorts.
He's dreamy. I love him. All right, what you got another one or no? What else you got?
I do. So yes, Wet Hot American Summer is one that I recommend.
All right, I'll watch it again.
So the next one that I'm going to say that I really feel like people should check out is Tropic Thunder. Now, I know a lot of people know about this movie, Tropic Thunder. You know, they're making fun of the old, like the Vietnam War movies and like Apocalypse Now and all these things. But they're also, as you can see in this picture here, there's Robert Downey Jr. and Ben Stiller in this shot. So Ben Stiller actually directed this movie. It came out in 2008, and that is Robert Downey Jr. in there in that scene. And so this is like a spoof on all those big, you know, Vietnam War films. But then there's also these storylines. So Ben Stiller's character is Tug Speedman, and he's been making just like, you know, all these ridiculous, stupid action movies to the nth degree of like how many sequels. And he wants to be in a legitimate like Oscar bait, but he made a movie called Simple Jack. And if you guys remember the movie I Am Sam that Sean Penn did, it's kind of like that, but let's take it over to where anyway. They spoof and parody a lot of things in this movie. And the thing about Tropic Thunder that I love so much is the whole idea that people are like, well, they can't make this movie today. It is way too offensive. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm down.
Why is, as they used to say in Hollywood, Robert Downey Jr. wearing the Egyptian #9 makeup? Okay, what's he got going on there with that Othello look there? It's
yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, he is doing the whole bit, and so Robert Downey Jr. is in blackface in this whole movie, and that's another reason why people are like, okay, they can't make this movie now. But his whole thing is that he was supposedly an Australian actor who got his skin dyed because he was going so deep in the role. It's like they're skewering the actors that go fully method, right? Like they are skewering all the massive, explosions and all these things. It is. I don't know why. And Tom Cruise and Matthew McConaughey have roles in this movie that are so great. Tom Cruise plays this movie executive. I don't know. Tropic Thunder is just, to me, like a lot of really big over the top things that are also mixed with nuanced jokes. And I just really think it's very funny.
I gotta watch. I never saw that one. Once I heard the Egyptian #9, I was like, I have to go not watch this movie. But now if you say it's okay, I'll watch it. Doesn't Tom Cruise have like really fat hairy arms?
Yes, so he wears these prosthetic hands and everything.
I could have done it without any makeup. I could have saved the $1 million. I would happily have done it.
That's the whole thing, is like the insider stuff is like, which movie producer was he spoofing with his role, right? And so that's what I'm saying. There's layers to this movie and I guess maybe not everybody in the audience knows it, but like if you know anything on the inside of Hollywood, you know what I mean? It added these extra layers of stuff.
The more stuff you know, the better. Well, that's life in general.
I was just going to say, in general,
but you know, the better. So,
exactly. But it also has Jack Black in it, and it's got just a lot of really it's what is it, Ryan Coogler, is that his name, the really funny guy? Anyway,
sure, let's go with that.
That's what we're going with today. It's very, very funny.
I remember Brooklyn Heights and Jujubee. I know.
But of course, if we're talking parodies, there really is truly only one. There is one GOAT, one greatest of all time, and it is 100% Spinal Tap. I don't care who you are, like, this is the best parody movie, spoof movie. It's the best. It's Spinal Tap.
When we were talking, you said to me, have you seen Tropic Thunder? No. And did you like Wet Hot American Summer? No. Have you seen Spinal Tap? Oh, sure. Everybody likes Spinal Tap. Exactly. That was my reaction. I was like, yes, everybody loves it.
Exactly. So rest in peace, Rob Reiner, obviously, for doing this. But Spinal Tap, spoofing the rock documentaries, of way back when, and just spoofing and making fun of rock bands and everything So it's Christopher Guest, who didn't direct this one. It's Rob Reiner, and Christopher Guest, who went on to do Best in Show, which is also another great parody that I love. Like Christopher Guest and his whole oeuvre of work, right? With all of the stuff that he's done, Mighty Wind and all of these
Waiting for Guffman,
all of them. So funny, right? But Best in Show is really my favorite of his. But anyway, he is so good in this. And then, of course, Michael McKean from Laverne and Shirley. We were just talking about Laverne and Shirley.
And he was in Hairspray. If we're going to do the 6 degrees of everything,
that's right.
Not the Adam Shankman version, the Broadway version, but still he played Edna. So there's that.
You're right. And he's in Better Call Saul and all this stuff, because my kid's like, oh, Better Call Saul. And I was like, oh, that's plenty. like what are we doing?
Let's give him the whole thing. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so squeak tones. Yeah.
Exactly. So he's in it. And then also, we have Harry Shearer, who I just always have felt is just freaking hilarious. But Spinal Tap is really the greatest of all parodies, and it never gets old. And I watched it again after Rob Reiner had passed, and it
Yeah.
was still so damn funny. And it's just like I actually ran a radio station, and I was an MTV VJ, and I worked in the music industry, and so like Bobby Flackman and like all these things with Fran Drescher and it. I know those people, like, and Paul from the band, he's a record guy, and he's just like, kick my ass, nobody came, like, these are real people. I know those people.
Exactly. And Fran Drescher was not only in This Is Spinal Tap, she was also in Saturday Night Fever. So that's like two landmark movies. She's the first person to dance with John Travolta.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh and it's like, can you imagine having that career? I just think that's amazing. It's like, are you the nanny? Yes. And I've also been in This Is Spinal Tap, and I've been in Saturday Night Fever. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty great. So I have to tell you about a movie that is not a spoof.
Okay.
It's a spoofable movie, and it kind of is. You'll laugh your ass off. If Stop That Train makes you laugh as a spoof of disaster movies, the disaster movie that'll absolutely kill you is a 1978 killer bee movie. Okay. BEE, not B like B grade, B like bees.
Right, right. And not like Beyonce.
Yes, no, not B. Yes, B. It's called The Swarm.
Okay.
And it's an Irwin Allen movie. Now, he's the guy, Irwin Allen. Okay, that photo makes me laugh out loud. Okay. Poor Olivia de Havilland. Okay, she's done these great movies in her career, amazing stuff, and now she's reduced to doing this dreadful B movie. And so, Irwin Allen is the guy behind it, and he's the guy who did The Poseidon Adventure and Towering Inferno, so the greatest disaster movies of all time. But then he does this. It is so bad, it makes me laugh my head off. And the reason it does, there's a speech. Olivia de Havilland gets on the PA system, and she's like, children, be very careful. Run to the house, get inside quickly. And all that. And those kids are getting stung and dropping like flies. I laugh it's so funny. It's kind of like that scene in The Birds where the kids are outside.
I was just going to say The Birds, right?
And it's worse. So you're just seeing, and someone is yelling, going, little Cynthia, drop, little Cynthia. You can just tell that there's a director telling now, and they'll look, when she falls over. It's about the funniest thing. If children getting stung to death is funny to you.
Funny to you.
If that is where, and kind of, it's so campy, you can't be horrified, because it's if that really happened, bad things happening to real people are terrible. Right. In a movie, funny. Okay, it's the more gruesome the better, and I just love it. I give The Swarm from 1978. I give it 2 EpiPens up. Okay, I just do, and but bring it with you. It's so bad. If you can find it, it might be on YouTube. I don't know where you can find it, but it is just of all of them, that's the one that's my favorite, because it's just when you get an actress who's so grand and wonderful and so storied, and she's reduced to this, and then she has to give a speech with children, and she's doing it. She is giving it her all. You will laugh. Okay. And then you can go see Stop That Train, because it's the same sensibility. It's like, it's the same. The people who laughed at The Swarm are the people who made Stop That Train.
Okay. So I have a question for you then. Yes. Speaking of parodies, did you see Mars Attacks? Because Mars Attacks, I loved, right? And I think I did the press junket for that movie and everything. And that to me is like, they're spoofing those old B movies, those 50 sci-fi B movie things. And I think Mars Attacks is great.
Well, and the Martian lady, when she's like, that weird wiggle that she does.
Yes.
I'm like, you don't know whether to be attracted to her or to run like hell, or both. Probably both is good. And I also have, people always talk about Blazing Saddles, which of course was a Western spoof, Mel Brooks classic.
Yeah.
And then there's Young Frankenstein, which people love, and they should.
And Spaceballs.
Brilliant. And Spaceballs. But the one they don't talk about is the Hitchcock spoof called High Anxiety.
Oh, I remember that.
Is as good as any of those other 3. It is, and I think it's the one that and Silent Movie are the 2 that don't get the praise that they deserve.
Fair.
Even I haven't seen Silent Movie in years and years and years, but I do periodically watch High Anxiety, because its spoof of Hitchcock is genius. So every time you kind of see a really good Hitchcock movie that you never saw before, you kind of are like, oh, I need to go watch this again, and you get more of the jokes
I think I remember the spinning part, right? On the spinning, because right.
When he's feeling the high anxiety, so he's falling. But there's also, when you mentioned the swirling is instead of in the blood going down the drain in Psycho, it's newspaper ink, because he's been pestering the bellboy to bring him a newspaper,
right?
And he loses it, and so he takes the paper while Mel Brooks is in the shower and stabs him with the newspaper and goes, "Here's your paper. Here's your paper. Here's your paper." And he stabs with it, and you watch the ink go down the drain, which is
nice. Oh, that's great.
And they cut in on the eye at the end, like poor, Janet Leigh in Psycho, and but it's Mel Brooks, and he says that kid gets no tip. Okay,
and then it's the same guy. I still say it's good to be king, like from Piss Boy. Where's my bucket? Like
the world, which is aged better than I thought it ever would. I didn't. Right. I remember being disappointed the first time I saw it, and then you watch it in bits and pieces. You're like, okay, it's pretty funny.
Okay, yeah. No, Mel has done some great spoofs, and it's funny though, because you saying the newspaper in the black and white made me think of one of my heroes, Steve Martin, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid,
Genius
who spoofs all of those old film noir, detective movies, and it's great.
And it's not a spoof, but we're going to mention Steve Martin in The Jerk when he hitches a ride.
Okay, I can quote that movie, Frank DeCaro. I can quote The Jerk from top to bottom. Let's go.
I can't do that, but I can say we always are in the car. Where are you going? End of this fence. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Always say that. Dude, when I get in the car, we always.
It is literally one of my favorite movies of all time. Like he hates these cans. Stay away from the can. Like when I used to go apartment hunting, and like when I'm in New York, and you'd go into a place, and I would quote the scene where he's in the bathroom. He's like, "Oh, this is great. I'll be over here. The customers can come in, use the facilities, this and that. I'll be this." And then the guy goes, "No, Nathan, it's back. It's through here." And he looks around at the bathroom. He's like, "Huh, probably couldn't afford it anyway." Like, I'm telling you, I know the whole movie.
All right, I got to rewatch that, and you have to watch my guilty pleasure is Norbit with Eddie Murphy.
Oh, I can't. Oh God, Norbit.
It makes me so happy. Oh, it's so offensive in so many ways. Every character he plays is more offensive than the other. But when he's in drag and says, "I'm sliding, bitches," oh, that kills me. That'll be another day. We'll talk about comedies we love against all odds.
Exactly. There you go.
Oh, I love this movie.
There you go. Well, you do bring up a good point, though, folks. In a previous interview, Frank defended disco. We got into disco. We talk about the disco sucks movement, what was really behind it. And you, sir, gave us your top 5 disco songs of all time. So people should
listen to them while I clean our house.
Exactly.
I that today.
And definitely check it out. But yeah, so we started out this video reviewing Stop That Train and sharing some thoughts on some parody movies, and we kind of spiraled. So yeah, we'll have to definitely talk some more. But again, folks, for people who are curious about Stop That Train, the new film by RuPaul, what is your overall sort of vibe on this movie?
It is silly and funny and just the prescription we need filled now. It is just check your brain at the door, grab that bucket of popcorn, and eat yourself into oblivion while you're watching drag queens save a runaway train full of some of the best comic actors working today. You'll see a lot of cameos from people. But to me, it's about Ginger Minj and Jujubee really turning it out. Great performances. Mm-hmm. And it's the perfect summer movie. It is just absolutely stupid. And you know what we need more of? Absolutely stupid.
Because we have some absolutely stupid in the wrong places, and so we need absolutely stupid in the right places.
We need to reclaim bad taste and absolute stupidity for our side. Okay, that's what we need to do.
Amen, sister. Amen. All right, so listen, Frank, if people want to follow you on social media, where's the best place to find you?
At Frank DeCaro Show on Instagram, and it's a little naughty, but I think you'll like it and get a giggle every day. And some days you're going to say, "I don't get this," and I'll just tell you, neither do I. So, some of it's just genuinely funny.
Well, so I can be found on Instagram at KB Heat over here on YouTube. This is my at Karyn B channel here. I've got a few different YouTube channels, so I have to try to remember. But this one is at Karyn B. It is the KB2 channel. Maybe we'll do more of this and pick shows to review or this or that. Or if folks have stuff that they'd like to hear us talking about, they can just leave us a comment. But I absolutely enjoy talking with you and want to do this as much as possible.
I love talking to you too. I'm so glad we met at a party, and we were just like, I like you. And she was like, I like you too. And I was like, I think we should be friends. And she said, I think we should be friends. And that's how it worked out. And so it's very new, and we have lots to tell each other. And
yes.
And I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you show us that you do by watching parts or little or all or whatever, do it. But my YouTube channel, I'm collaborating with Karyn, and I'm thrilled to be a part of all this. And people who said, where's your radio show? Well, it's not my radio show, but this is kind of the last hour has been me on a radio show. This is what it always sounded like.
Right.
And what it will always sound like is me blathering at the foaming at the mouth. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed talking to you. So thank you.
Absolutely. I love it. And yeah, maybe we'll get together, do live things or whatever. And so just stay tuned, folks. Hit that subscribe button. And Frank and I will see you on the next one.
Peace out, as the kids say. Do they say that? I don't know.
I think so.